We offer our financial coaching service to help our clients to develop a practical budget. Visit my website at jgotsoul.com to book a free consultation and discuss your financial goals. Our service also offers support to discover those blind spots that are impacting your ability to build wealth. So be sure to check out my website again at jgotsoul.com to book your consultation today. Special thank you to those of you that are listening, and I would like to ask you all to share this broadcast so we can reach as many people as possible. But before we get on with the show, let's have a word of prayer. Dear God, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for allowing myself and my guest Doug to get into the studio here safely. God, we just ask that something that we are discussing here today is going to reach someone and they will be able to utilize this information to better equip themselves in their life and their business and whatever capacity they need this information. We're just so grateful for all the opportunities that you provide us, and we are grateful for this time in the studio. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, you guys, so quick updates and events. So September 14th, myself, the Black Money Matters Act Like It brand, Urban Financial Literacy, and the Next Generation group will be having our very first open forum event. So at the open forum, we are bringing together community, creativity, and entrepreneurship during this special Thursday evening with a panel discussion, DJ, live performance by Mikey. There will also be light refreshments, and we will enjoy a night of networking. All right, so the tickets are $10, and if you come to the door and you're trying to get in, then the tickets will be $15. All right. Also, on September 16th at 11:30 a.m., we will be having our Worthy of Wealth event with Angelique the artist as our speaker. Myself will be speaking, as well as Max Barnes, and we'll be discussing some self-awareness. We'll be discussing money principles, as well as some tools that you can use to build your wealth. All right, so if you want to attend that event, it will be online, so check out my story on JAI_GOT_SOUL to see the flyer and get more details on that information. All right. And so the last announcement that I have for you guys, we will be taking a short month-long hiatus. All right, so for the month of September, we will be gearing up to get back in the studio in October. So we'll take a little break and so you guys can get caught up on seasons 1 through 3 of the Out of the Box podcast. All right, so we are in the midst of a beautiful transition, and we want you all to be a part of it. So just stay tuned and stay diligent for what is to come. We have some amazing things on the horizon, so we just got to get prepared for it. So we're going to take that month to do that. All right, so y'all be sure to stay tuned and check out the podcast. We are on Apple Podcasts, on all your streaming platforms, so you can check out all 3 seasons on Apple, and then you can either check out my website and go and learn a little bit more about the recent season. All right, now let's get on with the show. All right, so Out of the Box family, this week we have Douglas Skinner in the studio. All right, so let me introduce you guys to Doug. Doug discovered a need for marketing services and settled on building a marketing funnel and developing marketing strategies for small businesses. Now he owns his own company where he is in the programming coaching business to show others how to leverage their skills in digital assets. All right, so we're going to have an amazing conversation with Doug right now. So Out of the Box family, help me welcome Douglas Skinner to the studio.
Hey, thanks for having me, Out of the Box family. That was great. that was great. I like that intro.
Yeah. I appreciate you for coming through, Doug. Since I met you, it's just been a lot of good energy, so I'm definitely excited about this conversation today.
Me too.
So let's get into it. Share with the audience a little bit about yourself. Who is Douglas?
So, I'm just a gamer. That's it. Wanted to make video games. Parents were like, no, you need to do something that's more, concrete. We settled on computer science.
Okay.
Went to school at Tuskegee University, got my computer science degree, graduated with a couple offers for software engineering. From there, I was making websites on the side, and then just found a need that every time I build a website, they're like, well, how do I get customers? Led me into like a 5-year spiral of buying a ton of courses I should not have bought, getting into a lot of debt, and then just learning about business credit and different ways of building businesses and making money online. I was like, okay, I saw a pattern, right? When people, you see all those ads all the time of, buy this $1,000 course here, $5,000 course here, get money in 90 days, things of that nature. But as someone who bought a ton of these courses, I was just like, there was a common theme that was coming up, so I just decided to, instead of just selling somebody a course, I could easily take what I knew and just say, oh, I know the keys to marketing, I'll sell you $1,000 course, and made my money just selling the course instead of actually doing the process. I was just like, why not just start a coding business and use the marketing tactics that people talk about they can make money and actually make money, and then from there say, okay, I've done it, now I can show you how to do it. So instead of me, I could have went B2B immediately, I was like, you know what, let me show you how this stuff works and make more than enough money, and then use it to help people. Okay. So that was the whole goal.
Dope. Okay, so you went to Tuskegee, huh? Okay. What led you to an HBCU? Because I'm an HBCU grad too, so we got that in common. I went to Talladega College in Alabama. So we were like right around the corner. Right there. Yeah.
Just when I got out of California, my family showed me USC. I lived right down the street from USC my whole life. My parents took me to UCLA all the time. I was just like, dude, I need to get out of here. So I went to HBCU College Fair in LA with my best friend Sion. Him and his mom took me. Got a whole bunch of college offers. Tuskegee gave me the most money. I was like, oh, this is great. Went out there, way different from what I knew. I was like, yep, this is it. And I stayed at Tuskegee.
And what was that experience like at a HBCU?
Unmatched. Couldn't be beat. Like, that was by far like my best decision. You put yourself outside of the bubble that you're in when you live here, right? You go back and you try to experience different people and different things, and the flights back to home isn't cheap. So my family be like, look, you only coming home for Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, I guess. So I got to travel, see a whole bunch of other places. All my friends from different places, North Carolina, South Carolina. Amazing. So it was just one of the best decisions I ever made.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. I play basketball, so that's what led me to college. I actually went to a school called Salem International first, which was completely different from an HBCU experience.
Really?
Like, it was like redneck city. They were like, don't go anywhere by yourself. They had the Confederate flags. Like, it was deep. It was deep. So I was just like, I don't really like it, because I was just uncomfortable. And then it was a lot of international students.
Yeah, we had that too.
Yeah, so it was like overwhelmingly international. Like, my roommate was an Asian.
Wow.
And she locked me out of my room a couple times. You know what I mean? So it's like you experience different people different ways. And so I got an offer to transfer to Talladega College to play basketball. So I was like, let me think about it. And I realized, like, my family is from Alabama. Like, I'd just be closer to family. So I was like, yeah, let me go. And like you said, it was unmatched. Definitely unmatched. Being around just your people constantly.
Something different.
Yeah.
It's just different. You come back, your friends like, oh, you're so pro-black. I was like, what? Of course.
Right.
What are you talking about? I've always been this way.
Yeah, like, even having certain professors. Did you have a favorite professor?
Man, it's too many.
Yeah.
Like, actually, my favorite professor, he wasn't even black, it was Dr. Chan, my computer science professor, because he really changed the idea of, like, he kept asking why. You can skate through classes. Like, he was the only teacher I know that would, I never forget this, Jessica. He gave us a test. He handed us the test. He went home and said, slide under my door when you're done. He closed that door. We all went straight to our phones. When I tell you we could not Google this test, you had to actually know what it was, because he asked you what it was and then say why. You're just like, oh crap.
Yeah.
I need to know what this is and why. we were in there for hours.
That's crazy.
But it changed us, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a different level of understanding.
Yeah, no, that's a different experience. I actually had a philosophy professor. He was a white guy. He was blind. And so it was very interesting to have a blind professor. For one, he was all of his other senses was heightened. So anybody tried to do anything, he knew. It was just really weird.
That's
but
crazy.
I loved the class because it really taught me a lot about, just like you said, asking questions. He used to tell us, like, you have to be like a gadfly. Like, you have to constantly question everything, because if not, something is gonna kind of like skate, you know, up under those roots. And so I never forget that. And even to this day, I'm a question asker. You know, I was the type of kid where they told me not to ask why, because I asked why too much anyways. You know, I got butt whoopings for asking why. But yeah, like, there's nothing like that HBCU experience. You know, so that's awesome.
I feel that.
That's awesome. All right, so let's talk about your career in marketing.
Okay.
All right, so what interested you in the marketing space?
It's a skill that will pay you in any economy. So, and like I said, when I was doing websites, any skill that you have, okay, I need customers. Okay, I need leads. I need some kind of flow, right?
Yeah.
So when I started doing the research and buying these courses and trying different things, I found there's so many. The problem isn't that you can't find customers. Like, there's a ton of people. Like, I was like, I don't have any leads. Took all these courses, found out, I have just way too many leads to deal with. It's not about the leads, it's about actually getting them to convert to prospects and want to buy from you. Okay. That's the key. Okay. And that's what led me to funnels, essentially. So once I found out there are different, you can make a list, you can buy a list, you can buy an audience, you know, talk about affiliate marketing, doing promotions, all that stuff. They're buying attention, right? Found out there's 101 ways to buy attention. Insane. But the key is converting that into money. Yeah. And that's what led me to, you know, funnels, which was the biggest one, because the whole point of a funnel is to get them to take action. And that's the hardest thing to do. Yeah, it is. So I was like, this is the way. Yeah. And then pair that with inflation, rising prices. You know, if you used to spend $10 to get somebody, now it takes $20. But if the market is telling you that, let's say it's a $20 course, the market's saying they're not going to pay more than $20 for a course, you're not making any money. Right. A funnel solves that. You can ask more times by that one impression from that person, instead of having to buy their attention again and ask them for a different product. Yeah, funnels are definitely becoming more popularized as of lately. You know, I hear a lot about ClickFunnels. Yeah. Stuff like that. You know, they advertise that like crazy. So what would you say is like the best use of a funnel? Like, how could someone use the funnel to really convert? Like, what's the best strategy? The best strategy, in my opinion, is think about it as like a problem solving approach, right? So you got a couple options. Let's say I recently had a whole bunch of ants in my house. I was like, dang, I have ants in my house. It's summer, these ants coming out of nowhere, I don't know where they're coming from, right? So the first step is like, I'm just gonna get some raid. Cheapest option, like $4, $5, right? Kills the ants. I was like, they still were here. I was like, dang, what am I gonna do? So I went back, I bought a bigger option, which was this sealant that I can put outside my house to stop them from coming in the house. That worked for a little while, then it stopped. I was like, God dang it, where are these ants coming from? So I was thinking about talking to somebody, but luckily they went away because I got a different spray and tried it again. But if you think about like a business, if you start off with the smallest problem, saying, hey, I can help you get rid of those ants, or I can help you get rid of those ants for life, and I also get rid of all the other bugs, now it becomes increasingly more valuable. Yeah. So the best strategy for a funnel is really just to solve bigger and bigger problems as you go. So if you think about like my coding business, for example, I have a free cheat sheet. So if you want to do coding yourself, I call it YouTube University, because YouTube has a ton of free content. Download the cheat sheet. I tell you exactly in order what to study, and then I give you a resource and kit reference for learning the language, right? That's the free option. If you want a more premium option, buy my course. I tell you step by step, give you a video and some practice problems, right? And if you want an even bigger option than that, do group coaching. And then if you want another step above that, you do one-on-one. So you see, the problem is getting solved either faster, more efficient, or I'm just solving a bigger problem. So the first level, if you just want to dip your toe into coding without having to pay like a boot camp or get a degree, just take a $60 course, cheap. right? Small problem. Then it's like, okay, if you want to get there faster, join the group coaching, and I'll give you one-on-one, make sure you know what you're doing. If you want to get there even faster and you want to get a career out of it, then do one-on-one. We can talk about projects, portfolios. So the best funnel strategy is really every step of the funnel, you're solving a problem either faster, because people pay for fast. Imagine if you were like, okay, you want to go back home, you can take a ship, you can take a train, or you're going to pay for that plane ticket, right?
Right.
So, or you can drive.
Yeah.
And those are all different options at different price points. But a funnel just allows you to offer that to you right away.
Okay.
So that's like the best strategy. And people who are interested that want to spend that money, you'd be like, yeah, I want to get there faster. Yeah, I'm going to take that plane ticket. And people are missing out because they're not offering that. Even though there are some people who will pay that. You think they won't. Yeah. But if you try it, you'll be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times when we have this thought like, oh, nobody's going to want to pay it, or they can't afford it. You know, and it's like, well, that's not your customer then. You know, like that's not the target. So, how were you introduced into this space? Because it seems like this is just something that it gets you juiced up.
Yeah, it was just started with me in college. Like, I didn't have any money, right? So I was just researching, and then a black dude, Billie Jean, is marketing. When he first came out, he had a course. I bought it. Then when I bought it, he had 30-day back guarantee.
How much was the course?
It was only like $50.
Okay.
But then he had a $150 course that I definitely bought.
Okay.
But then I refunded it because I had some know-how and he didn't have his stuff set up.
Okay.
But I did end up buying. I bought everything since him from then, right? And even bought like his like $5,000 mentorship, all that stuff. So. And even in the ad, he was like, I don't care if you buy my course and refund it. I just want you to get the knowledge. Because he was one of the first to start really pumping out Facebook ads. And that's how he made his money, right?
Oh, okay.
So he's really good source on that. So he got me excited about it. And then I started looking at Russell Brunson with ClickFunnels. And ClickFunnels isn't even a new concept. He just popularized the software to use it, right? And then I just started looking at more people talking about marketing. And I was like, dude, this is like crazy. And nobody in our community is talking about it. Outside of Billie Jean's marketing, right? I was like, but who's buying it? And I was in his private Facebook group. Nobody is black in there. I was like, what is going on? So then that just started my crusade of talking to people about marketing.
Okay. So how has it grown over the time that you've been doing? How long you been doing this for?
I've been doing this for like 5 years.
How has it grown? Yeah, how's it grown for you?
The market landscape or just marketing in general?
Just I'm not sure which one. You said marketing landscape?
Yeah. So the landscape of marketing has changed because we've gone through webinars, we've gone through direct marketing, email marketing. Okay. We're talking about my personal career in marketing.
Yeah, your personal career.
Oh man, it's been a lot easier to talk about funnels now that people know more about it.
You sound like crazy.
Yeah. So I'm like, before they were like, Doug, what are you talking? I just have a website. Like, I don't need that.
Right.
Like, give me customers. I'm like, you need a funnel. This is what you need. Yeah. They don't know how it works or anything like that. So
that's funny.
It's been a lot easier to talk about it. I recently have to actually just been, talking to people because the amount of offers that you make is directly proportionate to the amount of people you ask to buy. So I was just consuming, and then, my girlfriend, she has nothing. She likes talking about business, but I just get in the weeds of marketing, and she's just like, okay, Doug. Right. She's just there listening to me talk, right? And my friends, they're just like, I'm like, you need a business and you need a funnel if you need a business. They tired of me talking about it. So it's a lot better now that I'm like making content. Like after, like when we did this, right? I was like, I gotta make content. So I like made like 20 pieces of content before we even started this. I was like, I need to get the word out. So it's a lot easier now that there are like groups dedicated to this and people I can just talk to about it than there was when I first started. Because when I first started, I was like, Doug, what are you saying? Yeah. But now it's becoming more widespread. Even some people still don't understand it, but it's getting there. So it's funny. A lot better.
You seem like a walking marketing machine.
Dude. I'm just reading and it just amazes me because of all these results. And I'm like, my job is to make it obsolete. Like this guy Alex Hormozy, he came out with this book, $100 Million Leads, and he buys companies that are like 50 million. Like you can make 5 to 10 million before you can work with him, right? So he's giving all this information for free so you can make 5 to 10 million. Right. Billie Jean is marketing worked with high-end companies as well, so he gave away I bought all. Jessica, I spent so much money on this man's courses, right? He on his 31st birthday, he dropped all his courses for $31. I was so mad. When I tell you I was on Facebook ranting to people saying, you need to buy this, because the information, I want it to be obsolete. I want everybody to know about funnels, everybody to get customers, just to make it easier to boost not only the black economy, but just our understanding of how to build a business and get customers in general. Yeah. So that's why I'm like all about it, is because I want me to tell you about funnels. You're like, I already know that. It's easy. I want somebody to walk up to me and say that, and just randomly.
Yeah.
I want to not. Why are you paying me for funnel knowledge? You already know everything. That's my ultimate goal, is to make my job obsolete.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, so what are some tips you would give to businesses, to business owners who are seeking advice about marketing? Like, what is some good advice that you can give about, like, this lead, like the funnels and things like that? What's the best strategy for that?
So we talking about, so there's different people. So you got a B2C people, business to consumer. So let's say you're selling physical products. We got B2B, business to business. Let's say you're selling a service to a business. So which one do you want?
B2C.
Okay, so B2C. Now give me for B2C, we can do a service-based business or a product-based business.
Let's do service.
Service. Okay, so if you're delivering a service, so let's take easiest one I can do is just website design, right? Service, right? If you're just starting and you don't, I'm going from the mindset of like, you don't know if this is gonna work. Right out the top, go high level, $100 a month. ClickFunnels go $100 a month, right? I'm not being sponsored. I use System.io. It's free. You can go on my website, busygay.com, and you'll see it's System.io. I'm doing this as an example to show that you don't need to spend money to test your idea.
Okay.
Because a lot of the other things we get to is either you do what you love when you do it for free, which is true, you can do that, but a lot of people don't know what they want to do. So I recommend you just start off for free, see if the market likes it. So I use my course as an example. I said, hey, who wants to learn coding for free? First eight people get it for free, right? Just to see if anybody will like it. If nobody said they wanted it, then I'd be like, okay, I gotta think of something else. But I got like 20 people that were interested. So I took 8 of them, and then I was teaching them how to code. So start off with no money, System.io. You can build your funnel, you can build your website, you can do your email marketing. Start there. 2, you already have a list of people. You're on Instagram, you're on TikTok. I know you're on Instagram and TikTok. You're on Facebook, you're on Twitter. Whatever you use, like your candy to just focus on, promote there. Ask your audience, ask your friends, and don't say, hey, buy my service, because people will know you're like, Doug, I ain't buying your service.
Right.
Just say, do you know anyone who would like to buy my service? And you don't need to, I get this all the time. They're like, I'm not an expert. I was like, didn't say you're an enthusiast. I've never said I was a marketing expert. I just share the information. Yeah. Right? And I give you the sources that are experts. Yeah. And then if you want to work with me, I will work with you, and you'll see that it's the exact same caliber of those experts. I don't promote myself as an expert because you're going to compare me to them. Yeah. So you don't need to be expert, guys. You don't need to be expert. You need
That's
to
good.
Just say you're an enthusiast.
That's good.
I'm an enthusiast. Yeah. If you're an enthusiast, you know everything about it. Right? And people don't judge you as hard. So then you can say, if you only want to be interested, or hey, I'm selling this product, right? I'm selling these websites. If you know anyone who needs a website, go ahead and link up with me. Do it for free. If you do it for free for the first, I know people don't do free work, but if you're just starting, do it for free. I did mine. I started off with nonprofits in college. Okay. I did it for free. My mom, shout out to my mom, she told her hairstylist, hey, my son's doing websites. I didn't ask my mom to promote for me. She just said, hey, yeah, my son's doing websites, by the way. That was my first paying customer. She asked me how much, right? And I didn't do it for a lot. I did it for like $100, $200, something like that.
Did you didn't have your price set up? Your price point set up? Okay.
Because you don't know if you're good at it yet. Okay. So I recommend that you start off for free, or you do it for very cheap until you get really good at it. And then people were like, oh, Doug, this is great. This is awesome. Yeah. So when I got feedback that, oh, this is great, this is awesome, then I started raising the prices. But you don't know how good you are. You can't. People always like to compare their day 1 to other people's day 100. Day 20, right? Yeah. So you start off for free. That's hard to beat. I'm gonna give you a free website. Ask 1,000 people, I'm gonna give you a free website. Who's gonna say no? Somebody's gonna give you a chance. Right. Blow out the water. They tell their friends. Word of mouth is still the by far. Funnels, I don't care. Leads, don't care. Word of mouth, your reputation, by far the best marketing. So that's my biggest thing for you, or for beginners. If they were doing service-based business, you build your service, build a website, build a funnel. I sold my course from one of the people that took my course for free. I didn't have a website up yet. I didn't have my funnel up yet. I didn't have any of that stuff up yet. It was literally word of mouth. So I hate when people say, oh, I need my website done first. It's gonna take you 3 months to do this website. Yeah. It takes time. Yeah, just do it. Tell people it doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to have it out there. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm in a good space then, from everything that you're saying, because I definitely started a lot of the things that I did, for very cheap or for free, especially with my consultation. I always offered the consultations for free and give people a little idea of what it is that we're
we're doing, and then it's like, okay, I need this.
Right.
Okay, then we can start charging.
Right.
You know, and so I feel good about myself now that I'm listening to you talk about this marketing, because it's hard. Like as a small business owner, you think that it has to be elaborate. Like
Right.
that's where I kind of find myself in these little, you know, gray spaces where I get, you know, discouraged, and I'll slow down on the marketing, because it's like, oh, it's not like it used to be, or it's not as elaborate, and it's like hearing you say everything you're saying, it's like, just do the marketing. Don't worry about what it looks like, just do it, you know, and people will start to catch on.
Yeah. Can you give you a tip?
Yes, please.
So
all the tips I need.
If you're doing free, mind you, we're talking free websites, right?
Yeah.
What I did with my first people, if you want a hack to really maximize the free offers that you get, like let's say your consultations, right? After the free consultation, say, okay, in exchange for the free consultation, I'm do a free review of me or a free testimonial, right? It gives you social proof.
Yeah.
Mind you, side note, testimonials don't need to be like, oh, Doug gave me 10 stars on my fun website.
See?
It's instead it's Jessica was very knowledgeable. She gave me awesome advice. I love talking to her. Testimonials do not have to be from clients all the time. They can be from friends and family that just speak on your character, because people trust people. So that's one big thing I saw from a lot of my courses that I bought. They were like, the hack was like, no, these courses, these testimonials, these are from my like 5 friends that know I do web coding, and they told me how my stuff was. One of my students from my coding course was like, Doug, your teaching is awesome, but the course material is a little bit too dense. I need something that's a little bit slower. I was like, okay, that's fine. Well, give me a testimonial on how my teaching was, and I will work on the course. Okay. Right? Yeah. But when you do that in your consultations, ask them, okay, so same thing I do with my students. Like, again, my course was $60. I asked them, so what made you want to do the course? You know, you can just do this for free on YouTube. They're like, oh, well, I really wanted some guidance, and I didn't know if I was doing this right, and I don't know what's complex, what's not. And if you get that information in your free stuff, when you start doing marketing, guess what? Guess what you're going to say? Hey, are you tired of not having leads or not understanding something from people, or YouTube's giving you 110 tutorials? Well, I can help you with that one-on-one. They're giving you the problems and why they're doing what they're doing. So when you're in your consultations, do the same thing. Hey, why did you decide to get on the call today? Because these are your what we call ideal avatars. I don't know if you guys know what ideal avatar is, but real quick, ideal avatar is the person that you're marketing to that fits perfectly. Okay, yeah, like the target market. Exactly. Okay. So I have this person laid out. They use ChatGPT to help create a name and their city, all that stuff, and a profile, right? I tell all my clients that they need an ideal profile they talk to. This is how businesses work with their profiles, because they have a person that they're talking to. Okay. So all the people that I first started with, they're all my target audience because they wanted the offer. So I asked them, why did you want to do this? Yeah. I have 8 different people telling me about 2 or 3 different things that are all very similar on why they want to do the program, what made them jump on the program, why didn't they do other option, why they don't have a degree, why they don't have a boot camp. And I can rephrase that in my marketing to reach other people just like them. So utilize these free people talking to you. Yeah. They're your target audience. And you use their whys on why they're working with you later in your marketing. So you're getting a lot of value from those free people when you're first starting out. So now you're not confused about like, dang, okay, who do I target on Facebook? Right. Man. You already have the people. They already told you. The best thing is they told you from their mouth what their problems were. So now you can just reword it in your marketing, right? Right. That's like the biggest thing you can get from the free people. And then you can just start growing it from there. That's good. That's good. And I have all of that. So I just need to use it. You need to use it. That's crazy. And using your content, using yourself. Use ChatGPT. I use AI all the time, literally every day. Yeah. So what I did was I like after certain events and stuff, I did like a little form, Google form, and then I'll have them fill that out. But also even in sessions, like I could go back and listen to sessions, and it's like even in that, it's like, well, was this helpful? Why was it helpful? What did And so it's like all of that information. I didn't realize like that is marketing information. It is. That's crazy. Jessica, you got a gold mine. I'm telling you. You a genius, bro. Like I said, I'm just giving advice, the stuff that I learned and the stuff that I got from other people, because all this stuff came up the same kind of way from buying all these courses and stuff. Right. And I found this, and I'm mad I found this stuff. I was like, okay, let me see if it's free. I Googled on YouTube, somebody having a podcast about it. I was like, dang, if I had known, I wouldn't have spent this money. But now I know, right? Yeah. So that's good. Okay, so tell us about your company, Program and XP. So Program XP is the project I was telling you about that I was doing B2B before, and I was actually going through some imposter syndrome because I was like, I'm telling people all these funnels are great, but I'm only using a funnel to sell funnels. Like, but they're all B2C. So clients are coming to me like, yeah, Doug, but you're B2B. You can just sell to businesses. Like, you don't understand like what the B2C stuff is like. And I was like, okay, well, let me do B2C to show you that you can actually do it, right? So I was like, what do I know? And you're typically gonna get paid for stuff that you know. And I think people say on average it takes about like 5 to 7 years for entrepreneurs to figure out what actually makes them money.
Yeah.
And then they just start skyrocketing from there because they have all these skills that they have.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, I don't want to wait another 5 years. The millennial in me is like, I'm not gonna wait another 5 years. What do I know? And I was like, I've been a programmer for like 9 years. Oh, I'm just gonna do programming.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I'm a software engineer by trade, so that's an easy sale. Learn programming from a software engineer. I was like, oh, I'm doing B2C. So I took a weekend. I shut down all my paid stuff because I wanted to show people like, look, you don't need money to do this. You can start this from scratch.
Okay.
Only thing I paid for was my domain, but I already had that.
Okay.
So even if you don't have a domain though, you can use your social media and link it to there. But I just made a whole course, and it came up to be programming XP, programming experience, because I love video games. So programming is an active profession. It's not like reading a book or a normal thing. It's like a language. I like to think of it like a language. Like you're talking to computers, right? And giving instructions. So think about like Spanish. Like if you had to tell somebody something in Spanish to get them to do something, that's what programming is. Programming languages are to computers. Like you need to speak their language to get them to do stuff, and that's all a programmer is. Okay. So I just made it Programming XP. I put it under that brand for later, so when this scales and grows, it can live off as its own thing and be separate from my personal brand. So I was like, this is the incubator, this is the test to show you that how to grow a B2C from 0 to 10, 20,000, however I'm going to take it. And that's how it started. And I'm sharing all these free strategies and how I'm doing it along the way, documenting it, because I want to show you can do it. Yeah. And this stuff actually works. And you don't need to spend $10,000 trying to find out the secret. There's no secret, guys. I spent a lot. I'm still in debt. I spent a lot of money. I still got student loans too. Spent a lot of money. There's no secret. I promise you, there's no secret. It's just one niche to one customer, and then you scale one to many, and then you just build a team. Because I can do it. Let's say if it's just me, if I can do it by myself, reach out to 100 people today, you're never going to beat someone who has 3 people reaching out to 50 people a day. Like, you're never going to beat them. Yeah. So once you hit the cap as a solopreneur, you need to build a team to scale.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually the tough part of business too, is like after you get to that, because I'm at that point where I need a team. I do a lot in my business and I'm working all the time, and it's like I need to find a way where I'm putting something else to work, duplicating myself, and then now I can focus on the important parts. You know what I'm saying? So that building a team, what would you say that looked like? So
that's actually a really big thing right now for people buying courses. Right now, appointment setting and sales is huge right now. So the same way you build a funnel for getting customers is the same way you build a funnel for getting talent. Okay. So Jessica, give me your business.
My business, we're gonna go with J Got Soul Studio. And so we offer clothing, we do media, and then we build community.
Okay. And then who are you looking for?
We are looking for young creatives between the ages of 18 and 35.
Okay, and then what is the profit that your business does? How do you make money?
We make money through our clothing line, and our coaching business.
Okay, so if let's say you wanted some more creatives to do what? What do you want them to do in your business?
Well, I want them to learn how to budget properly. So that's the coaching side. So I'm teaching them how to budget, and then purchase our clothing brand to use those as reminders for them to keep that budget going.
Okay, so if you're trying to find talent in your business to help you reach more people?
Yes.
And then, so what is their primary function in your business? Are they marketing for you?
Yes.
And are these creatives, are they technically partners that are promoting for you, like influencers?
Yes.
Okay, so if I was you and I'm saying I need a team to help me promote the brand, right? But you're saying you're letting them leverage their own platforms to promote your brand, right? Then I would connect with people. I probably use cold email because cold email has worked for me in the past. But just people who match your image. It's the same thing that big companies do for affiliates, right? Like if if you match our brand, then we're gonna reach out to you with a deal and have product placement, just because we know our audience is people we're gonna target. So people who resonate with you, that you watch or that you've seen, just connect with them, and you send them a code email. My easy code email script is like, hey, let's just say Busy Geek. Hey, Busy Geek, we really love that who you worked with X at this company. So you make it a little bit personal in the beginning. We are Jay Got Soul. We do blah blah, and we're looking for excellent creators like yourself. I'm gonna resonate with them. Like, oh, I'm an excellent creator. All right, cool. Keep reading. And we wanted to talk with you about a partnership deal, right? And because we worked with creator like you, X, Y, Z, that was able to result, like generate extra 150,000 income or extra $50,000 income, or grow their following to 2 million followers with us, would you be interested? So what you're doing here is you're connecting, you're one, complimenting them, which people love complimenting. They love hearing about themselves. Absolutely love hearing about themselves. Two, you're connecting with them, saying, we're looking for like-minded people like you. And then they're saying, what kind of people? And then you tell them, like, oh, expert creatives. Like, oh, yeah, I am an expert creative. Yeah, you're right. Keep going. And then you're saying, I've helped similar people like X, Y, and Z that they might know. Be like, oh, you worked with him and with him? And then they say, well, why do I care? Oh, because you helped them 2x or increase their following. Now I'm interested. I don't know you, but now I'm interested. I used to do this for appointment setting all the time. And I would get people, they were like, oh, I'll tell you more. Well, how much is it, or whatever? They would be interested. So I would just do that with talent that you know would be big, or let's say they have bigger influences than you, or let's say they match your creative, and you'll get some responses, and then you'll see, it's like, okay, book on my calendar. Then you'll have a conversation, and then from there you go negotiate terms and you start growing your team. After that, it's just about vetting. If it works out, it's great. As soon as you realize, like, look, this person's a little too much hassle than I thought, cut them off. And you just keep growing and building from there. Yeah, because that's the biggest part I've seen from people who make way more money than me. They just talk about building team, and they try to recruit me, but they're like, Doug, you're a little too entrepreneur for me. I need someone who wants to be in the system and make money that way. But they like the energy and what I'm focused on, right? Yeah. So that's what I would do if I was in your situation, because I would just see people who fit my business and grow like that, and then reach out. Same way big businesses do with affiliates. That's
good. That's good information, and it's good to even have just an idea of what that looks like. Because honestly, I say I need to build a team, but it's like, well, how do I do that? And what would that look like? So that's definitely helpful. Okay, so tell us, what is Busy Geek? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Tell us about.
So Busy Geek is my personal brand, and I say I spent like 2 weeks on that name, just staring in the abyss, waiting for that name. I was like, what am I? Like, I'm not an expert. I'm not a marketing genius. I'm a geek for sure. I'm a nerd. I love video games. Show my Hadouken shirt.
Yeah, that's dope.
I love video games. Like, video games are my heart and soul. I was like, but what am I like? Like, we're talking about marketing. I'm just getting excited about it. I'm like, I'm just a nerd about business. Like, that's all I really am. So I was like, oh, Busy Geek, that's perfect.
That's good.
So I ran with that, and all Busy Geek is really just, if you want to know information, I'm going to tell you about that information. Like I said, I bought all the courses. I want to buy more courses, but my lady stopped me. But I continue to just nerd out about business and learning about all these things. And if you're not a business person, or you're not really interested, or you just want to know how to use it, along with my tech background, it just fit. I was just like, oh, if you need help with marketing and you need help with tech, I'm your person. You can just focus on your passion. And that's the best. My best clients are people who just know, like, look, I'm just good at chopping wood. Doug, if you can make me a business about chopping wood, then I'm gonna work with you. You handle all this other stuff. I can just focus on what I'm doing and deliver good results, and I could do it. And that's the biggest part that I found. A lot of my people are not really tech savvy, and I'm like, you shouldn't have to be tech savvy. If you're really good at doing what you're doing, I'm just helping you spread that to the world. Yeah, that's my job. Yeah. So that became the mission for Busy Geek. Is like, if you want to build a business selling socks, I'm gonna show you how to build a business selling socks. And it's not by me doing all the work. It's by me telling you, from my experience, what to do. Maybe setting up some tech stuff for you, and then, more importantly, connecting you with people who have done it before. Right? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No worries. What? I'm sorry. Turn this off. Connecting with people who have done it before, and there's this quote by Booker T. Washington in our library that's like, I can't remember, but he talks about a really intelligent person is not one who knows everything, but someone who can call upon any information at any given time.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to build just my Rolodex network. People saying, look, if you need marketing for your products, I'm gonna connect you with somebody who is actually doing that. If you need, your emails for your tech business, I'm gonna connect you with somebody who's doing that. I'm not gonna be the all-in-one guy to do everything. I want to help you connected with specialists, and I just take a cut in the middle to teach you where to go.
Yeah.
And that's like the point of Busy Geek. Like, I'm enthusiastic about it, right? But I'm gonna send you to whatever mentor or coach that you need to go to. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah. That's good, because that's how I do it too, like especially with the financial coaching, because I'm really very intentional about just sticking to the budgeting,
Right.
because that's where I know, like I built my business off of proper budgeting, so it's like I have more expertise, but I'm not an expert in that space, and then I kind of refer, like I want to have a real good referral system,
right,
to where I'm referring people to the right professionals that can really give them what they need. So now this is a successful process going all the way through. So yeah, there's a lot of connectivity in that space. So what sort of financial adversity had you experienced on this journey?
Oh man.
Let's go.
Okay, so first, I'll tell you about the company after, because I don't know if they changed or not, but I went to this mastermind, and they get you all hyped up at these masterminds, right? They're hyped up, and then they have the big table in the back for you to sign for the programs. So I was with a whole bunch of my friends who were all like, Millionaire Mind, all that stuff, right? And we were hyped about this program, and one of my good friends, Jason, shout out to Jason, he was like, they have this package where they're going to teach us this skill on these dates. We get all these programs. Consider it like a master bundle from all these people courses, right? And they're like, it's like, they say if we split it, it'll be cheaper for both of us, right? And I was like, okay, cool. How much is it? And I just got my business credit, and they were like, okay, it's $4,000. I was like, okay. I'm like, is it? I'm like, So we were talking back and forth. And the guy in the corner was like, if Jason does it, I think Jason put in like $10,000. Shout out to Jason, he paid it all off too. Good for him. But he was like, yeah, if you pull it off, if Jason does it for 10, I'll give you a discount. You can do it for 4. I was like, ooh. He's like, we were like, but we're gonna make it though. So we went and put the money down. Jessica. The following day, I was like, okay, we're waiting for the email confirmation to go in. Where's that? Don't see it. Where's that? Don't see it. Uh-oh, what's going on here? I was like, Jason, call the guy back that sells the package. Jason's like, I'll get back to you. I was like, okay. Jason and I talking. He gets back to me. He's like, Doug. I was like, what? He's like, they fired him. I was like, what? They fired the guy? That's the only contact we have, right? For the program.
Yeah.
We had created a Facebook group of everybody that went. Messaging Facebook group. Hey, did you get yours? No, I didn't get mine. Hey, did you get? No, I didn't get mine. We're like, what is going on? Turns out that company that shall not be named actually, like, I don't know how many people they got rid of, but they just took the money. All these headlines on, they're still active, but one of the guys that had the money, he was trying to file a lawsuit or whatever against them because they didn't have it's like Facebook, no customer service number, just send out blank emails. All
that's
that
the
stuff.
most frustrating.
Right. I was like, what is going? How is this possible?
Right.
Report them to Better Business Bureau. I'm still getting emails from them this day. We're just like, man, we're gonna get them. And then like that was like the biggest one where I just lost $4,000. I was like, oh my gosh, for real. The second one we did, if it was, I forgot. It was like, it was another program by like the people on Shark Tank, like 2 people on Shark Tank, and I took my friend Joe. Joe was upset with me to this day about it, but we went, and it was about, we were supposed to learn like one tactic, but then when we got there, we started learning about Amazon FBA, and I was like, what? That's not what we paid for, but okay. And so we went. It was like 4 days. Went, and they're just building it up about for the market. We're here with all these other people, right? And we're learning about, like, I guess we'll learn about Amazon FBA. Sounded awesome, right? Of course, at the end, they're like, okay, we're gonna sell it to you. And I was like, Joe, like, I messed up on the last one. I told you about that, but these people say they're gonna help us, like, for real, like, let's give it a shot. Joe was like, nah, Doug, like, no, this is not gonna work. I was like, Joe, let's try. He trusted me. He's like, all right, let's try. So at that time, I hadn't been building my credit up. So when we did it, we were like, they were like, okay, well, I was like, we don't have the money, so we're gonna have to pay with our credit. And they were like, do you have the will to win? That's what they kept telling us. We were just like, yeah, we have the will to win. Like, we want this.
They will sell you.
Man. Joe's my conscience. He was just like, no, Doug. I was like, I'm overly, this is why I with my woman, because she grounds me.
Yeah.
I'm overly optimistic. I could be like, the ship is sinking. I'm like, we'll make it, we'll be fine. She's like, no, the ship is sinking. I was like, no, we're good, keep going. So she grounds me. Shout out to my baby. But so we end up trying. He's like, all right. He's like, well, if we run your credit, we'll see if you get it. We'll pay your funding, right? Ran our credit. Luckily, our credit was too new, so we couldn't get it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, look. I talked to the guy. I was like, look, we have the will to win. You saw we tried. Like, can you help us get started? Like, what can we do? And he was just like, you're out of luck. And we were just like, wow. 4 days of pressuring us to buy this thing. We're showing you that we can act. We want it. Like, we really want it. We even tried to run our credit for it. And after all that, you're still telling us that, you know, oh, you don't have money? No. Yeah. So that's when Joe was just livid. And I was just like, we're going to get rich just so this doesn't happen to other people. Like, just so we can show that you can do this. Yeah.
That's good, because I see a lot of programs that they do sell, and I think it's really interesting because my brand, Black Money Matters, Act Like It, it's really about being conscious of the money that you're spending. So I actually tried a couple programs, and I'll get on there, and it's like, then they'll tell you like it's like $10,000 to pay for it. And so one time I did a meeting with a guy, and we were talking, and we had a great conversation. I'm like, oh yeah, I need this. He's like, oh, kind of similar. You got the will to win. You want to do this? Yeah, I want to do it. How much is it? 10,000. Okay, well, I'll have that. Right. Okay, well, do you have the will to win? Yeah. Okay, so I have these financing options for you. You know, get you a credit card, or I found a lady that got this much credit and this, and it's like, how is that helping me? Right. Like, how would that help me? At the end of the day, it's going to put me in debt for a program that you have, and I haven't even tried it out to even know if it's really going to work. You know, and so it's like, we really got to be careful out here, because they be trying to get us, you know? And I heard this guy on Instagram. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, start charging the amount you want and offer financing. Like, it's like you guys are offering debt to get people to pay for your class. That's the game. It's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, and that's why what you do here is so important. Because outside of me, like my best friend, Sion, shout out to Sion, he did it. He doesn't have any sexual business, and he bought a house. He very conscious of his money. Yeah. Everybody knows Sion. He's very conscious of his money, right? And he did it without a side hustle. So he's very conscious. So what you're doing here is very, very important, because everybody preaches entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are not for everybody. It ain't. And jobs aren't bad either. I call my job my first investor. Yeah, right? Absolutely. Like, that's how you want to look at it. Absolutely. So don't look at it as a bad thing. You can make do. You can make better money decisions and be far enough ahead. I always tell people, I was like, if you have a job and you're making 50 grand, but your debt to income ratio is like all your debt fit on one bill, and you can just budget and go on what you want, versus someone who's making 6 figures and their debt to income ratio is like 2/3, and they have to, like, they're penny pinching every check. You're way richer than they are. And that's why this is important, because if you smart with your money, people want the Louis Vuitton purses, all that other stuff. That stuff can come if you budget and you're doing great, and you know, develop your side hustle, slowly grow it. But to be honest, a lot of it is just education on money. If I was smart about money, I wouldn't be in debt like that, right? So I was, if I knew these things and was talking to people about it, way far ahead. It's just about knowing the principles. Like, what is the purpose of money? Right. You know, like, people don't really ask themselves that question. It's like, what is the purpose of money? Is the purpose of money to, you know, just go ahead and spend it on things we want because when we grew up we didn't have it? Is that our purpose? It's not. You know, you want to be able to make transactions that's going to grow your money. Exactly. You know, and so whatever that looks like for you, because, you know, you can have a job and still grow your money. Exactly. People really don't think that you could do that. Like, wild. It's crazy. Wild to me. Yeah. So, yeah, that's dope. Okay, so what's next for you, Doug? keep preaching the word.
Yeah,
reaching out
that.
to people, showing, documenting my process. Like, documentation is everything for me really now at this point. Making content and just sharing it and documenting it, because I was just, you know, by myself telling everybody, right? I can edit. I was just procrastinating because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to like content.
Yeah.
But really, like this podcast makes you want to make content. You know, get on here. I was like, I gotta get my stuff right. Make sure all my links work. Just gonna be on here, showing me stuff, promoting stuff. I gotta make sure this stuff is right. So really, it's just promoting. Yeah. And connecting with you, connecting with other people, and just sharing the knowledge.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So, what advice would you give to someone interested in learning more about marketing?
I would say, one, book a one-on-one call with me. 15 minutes. I'll talk to you for free. No worries. And two, start just consume. Once you start looking into marketing, use AI. Use AI, people. Come on now. You can ask ChatGPT if you're interested in marketing right now. Say, act as a marketing expert in ChatGPT right now. Act as a marketing expert. Give me the top 5 things I need to know before I can build a business, I can start promoting. And it will give you, because ChatGPT is the model is taking all the information up to September 2021. So it's giving you aggregate information from all those sources and giving it to you in one succinct paragraph or sentence or whatever. So you're not getting just one person talking to you. You're getting multiple angles. So you're getting a pretty good, like, I would say 60% of a really good answer, right? So get that information and just start researching it. You don't need to do a lot. Just start researching it. You'll find people like Russell Brunson. You'll find people like Billie Jean. You'll find people like Alex Becker. You'll find people like Neil Patel. And then they'll start to resonate with you and just follow them. They have a ton of free content. And then once you're, okay, I want to know more, get a mentor. Fastest thing I can tell you to do. That's good. Is get a mentor. As soon as you think you know what you're doing, you need to validate you know what you're doing and test it, right? Right. So try it yourself. But if you want to skip a lot of hurdles, get a mentor. My mentor, Aston CEO, shout out to him. I'm name dropping a lot of people. But Blake, he has a program very, very cheap, and he talks about making money with digital products. Simplest thing you can do. Yeah. Right? You can talk to him way cheaper than any of my courses. I was so mad at him for the price of his mentorship. Not gonna lie, I was so mad. I was like, "This is all you're charging for this?" Right. But talk to a mentor. Yeah. He's a big pillar. Shout out to his audience. It's crowded at the top. Oh. We talk every Wednesday. Yeah.
Beautiful. Get a mentor. That's good, because mentors are definitely important. I wouldn't be who I am. This brand wouldn't be what it is now if I didn't have people telling me like, hey, maybe you should try this, and really guiding me on that step. So that's important. Okay. Before we head out, which question do I want to go with? What is one important fact about marketing that can make or break your business? That's going to be the last question. What important fact about marketing that can make or break your business?
Your strategy. So if I could tell you guys one thing that'll make or break it, is if you're trying to do too many things at once. Don't make one TikTok and then one Instagram post and then one Facebook post and then one YouTube video, and then it's just like, ooh, that was a lot. I'm done. If you're gonna start, one niche, one product to one niche, one channel. Get really good at that one channel, and then you can just duplicate your success on the other channels, but spend most of your time on one channel. Because if I promote once on everybody's thing, you're only like 0.01% of your audience going to see it on that one channel. So pick the one you're always on. If you're always on TikTok, that's your one channel. If you're always on Instagram, pick that channel. If you're always on YouTube, that one channel. And just do that until you get good at that. That's my advice.
Dope. Okay. I'm definitely going to take that, and I'm going to be calling you because I'm going to need some more advice. But before we head out, what platforms can listeners find you on?
Just at Doug the Busy Geek on all platforms. I'm primarily on Instagram and YouTube, but I do have a Twitter, and I do have a TikTok, and you can check me out on LinkedIn as well. So, yeah, at Doug the Busy Geek.
Okay. Dope. All right, you guys. So check out the Busy Geek. He got a lot of information. You heard all that energy in the studio today. I'm glad we're taking this hiatus on this note, because this was some great energy. I appreciate it. But
Thanks
this
for
is
having me again.
no problem, man. We'll definitely have another conversation, because we got to go into web design, right?
Yeah.
We got to talk about that too. So we're going to have you back on the show for sure.
I'm excited.
All right. So this has been the Out of the Box radio show. Today we discussed tech and marketing with Douglas Skinner. All right. So thank you to those of you that tuned in live. Just a reminder, we will be taking a short month-long hiatus, so you can catch all of our previous shows. In the meantime, you can check them out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast. You can check it out. Just search JAIGOTSOUL and Out of the Box podcast will come up. Go ahead and get caught up. We got a lot of great content for you guys. All right. So if you would like to keep up with me and what I have going on outside the show, you can give me a follow on JAI_GOT_SOUL on Instagram. Also follow my business pages at Black Money Matters Act Like It, as well as J Got Soul Studio for more content. All right, so be sure to tune in to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Please subscribe. JAIGOTSOUL. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will see you upon our return, but until next time, we are out.